Peyton Place will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you a complete pile of shit.
Have you seen this? The seedy underbelly of Hollywood politicking as seen by Hollywood.
Welcome to Have You Seen This?
The world's only podcast about obscure, overlooked, and misbegotten media.
All discussions will be spoiler heavy.
You have been warned.
This show would not be possible without the support of our patrons. If you would like to support our show, join us at patreon.com/haveyouseenthis. Patrons get the show a week early, and $5 supporters also get access to our Discord. Or you can tip us at our Ko-fi. Visit the link in the show notes.
And I suggested this because this actually sounds like your pre-70s era studio portrait of an entertainment industry losing the plot. Would you say that that's still accurate?
Yeah. It was intended as a sort of cautionary tale, perhaps, or a sort of wry observation of the decay at the heart of the industry.
Even you, some of the most successful people on Earth, might have something bad happen to you.
It was not really intended as satire, and certainly not as camp, but that is how it comes across. Death of the author. This Death of the Oscar. This is the Oscar from 1966, and man, this is such a fucking stinker. Like, I feel like a foghorn should play every time we say the title. This movie should have been preempted by Turn On. That is how just unwise a creative choice this movie was. Well, that was how bad Turn On was, is that people were like, oh, thank God, a shitty Monday night movie instead. This is garbage.
Yeah, the connection to the earlier episode is that this was one of the things that that the network switched over to when Turn On got canceled during the time it was aired.
Yeah, when they yanked the big plug out of the wall.
Right, yeah. The computer that was making Turn On, they just yanked it out, pulled out all the memory, set it on fire, salted the earth.
I hope they treated it like the printer in Office Space, to be quite honest.
Just to make sure it doesn't come back. Yeah.
Right. And it didn't.
Well, I don't know, like a Horcrux or whatever. It came back in many other smaller forms. Like that poison is still in the media environment. But we're here to talk about something else that is more poisonous, and that is just the general vibe of the Oscar. I don't know. This one, this was the movie that came on to just fill time for Turn On, and I think that's its sole claim to fame. What do you think?
Well, it did for a while have sort of a Razzies type
notoriety
reputation. Like, I'm pretty sure it's in like the Golden Turkey Awards book or something. But the thing is, this movie is such trash that as it receded in film history, it kind of lost that reputation because it's like nobody's fucking heard of it. Like, nobody cares. It's it's a beyond mid 60s big budget studio picture.
So you're saying that once people forgot about it, maybe people in the know were like, have you seen this?
Right. And that's why you, the fine listeners at home, come to people like us who waste our lives watching crap. Like I said to you before, Tim, I watched this movie at least 1 3/4 times because the vibes are very bad.
I watched this at 1 3/4 speed, so yeah.
Smart. I bet it was a lot funnier. It still does have a reputation among like the heads because I'm pretty sure that friend of the show Josh Olson is I don't want to say a booster of this film because I'm pretty sure he knows what crap it is, but as someone who does work in the industry, he sees the funny side of it because, like I was setting up to say at the beginning, it inadvertently ends up being an incredibly hilarious satire of Hollywood. Not in the way it intended, but because it is so camp. And in fact, the other Josh Olson connection is that this is the sole feature writing credit, I believe, of Harlan Ellison.
Who never wrote a word after that.
Yeah, what happened to that guy? But, Josh worked with him and was a great friend of Harlan Ellison's. And the word is that when he saw a screening of this movie, Ellison was so dismayed that he pretty much burst into tears.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, especially if you kind of set yourself to a higher standard. I mean, the movie is trash. It is gorgeous trash. I mean, the Technicolor in it alone is striking, and they make excellent use of it.
Sorta. It's also shot like a TV show.
Okay.
Like a really expensive TV show.
Yeah. I mean, it has like very vibrant scenes, and each of them has like kind of its own color palette, which is an attention to detail. Like there are scenes that are just like, they're almost like Speed Racer levels of offensive levels of color saturation.
That's
There's scenes that are very green. There's scenes that are very pink. There's scenes that are very black.
I did notice that there was a scene of Stephen Boyd meeting Milton Berle for lunch at a restaurant, and the whole thing is just done up in shades of green.
Yeah, it's like a tropical forest in Ireland during the rainy season. Like that's how green it is.
And the money that they spent on this was green as hell.
I believe it.
Yeah. Speaking of Ireland, our lead, Stephen Boyd, was in fact from Northern Ireland, probably best known as Messala from Ben-Hur.
Okay.
Basically, Ben-Hur's former side piece is the impression I get from that movie.
Wait, what? Was there subtext in Ben-Hur?
Well, Charlton Heston said there wasn't, and
Okay.
he would know.
He seems like a sharp guy.
You can't listen to that Gore Vidal. He says all kinds of wild shit.
Right. Well, I noticed that if nothing else, the conservative mindset loves nuance and artistic interpretation. Things that have more than one meaning.
Yeah, they really relish the feeling of feeling slightly uncomfortable because you don't know how to feel. That's certainly not like a motivating impulse for them.
Right.
In ruining the world around them. But anyway, so
but
yeah.
we were slagging off Hollywood.
Messala from Ben-Hur, that's Stephen Boyd, died quite young, I think in his 40s. Like he had a heart attack on a golf course or something.
I mean, according to this movie, 42 is like you're 1 foot in the grave, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, back then, like, if you were a woman and you were 40, that was basically like being 90.
Well, I mean, just like today.
Well, yeah. I mean, not a lot has changed.
Right, yeah.
But Stephen Boyd, I think, is quite good in this. Maybe the material isn't quite worthy of him. He basically plays like the world's biggest piece of shit.
So an A-lister who's up for an Oscar.
Right. I mean, I said that
the
this
satire
was in
writes
some ways
itself.
it's very accurate to Hollywood in like quite a lot of ways. And that's the plot is like, I won't say like the ruination of a man, but like a bad guy realizing just how hollow he truly is. Like, chasing that brass ring.
Yeah, a scumbag getting his due. Like, didn't we talk about this in another episode about just, being a relentless grasper and really, like, that's all you have? You don't enjoy any of your actual success because your goal is just achieving more success?
Yeah, well, we like movies about bad and morally gray people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a good performance because I absolutely loathe Frankie. He's human garbage.
Yeah.
You know who his perfect girlfriend would be? May from the Sun, the Prince of the Sun.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like they would be perfect for each other.
Because Frankie ends up in like a pretty, fairly low at the end of this movie. He gets his comeuppance, but if he got together with Mai from Prince of the Sun.
Yeah.
Like that would end up as some kind of like Wonderland Murders situation eventually. Like it would be next level.
Yeah. Like people would still be unraveling that.
Yeah, like fucking HBO Max, like 6-episode limited true crime docuseries kind of shit.
Yeah, it would be Al Pacino in a bad wig would do like some prestige miniseries about that. Trent Reznor would do the soundtrack. He'd have the in his recording studio the window that he threw May out of. It'd be a cultural touchdown. What are we even talking about?
And it's got Helen Mirren for some reason. But anyway, Tim, I would like to ask this question.
Okay, well, we got time to fill, so go ahead.
This is a movie which is, I would say, is somewhat out of your wheelhouse.
I fast-forwarded through a lot of it.
I mean, as much as I know you love Joseph Cotton, and you're like, who the fuck is that?
He's the guy who invented cotton. I'm not stupid, Jen.
Yeah. Tim, it was the cotton gin.
No, that's
Did
the
you
guy
even
who
go to school?
Cotton Gin invented gin. That's why it's named after him. Joseph Cotton invented cotton.
Wasn't he Hank Hill's dad on King of the Hill?
Right,
Cotton
yeah.
Gin. Yeah. See, I know my American history.
Mm-hmm.
But my question was, as someone for whom this is very not much his type of movie, what was your reaction to the Oscar besides hitting fast forward?
Well, I mean, normally I love scenes of women being abused, but this one is not funny whatsoever. It ruined one of my few joys in cinema.
Yeah, Tim has just been cackling up a storm for weeks, and then as he came to a screeching halt, he's like, this isn't fun.
Right, yeah, this isn't funny at all. I can tell you, I pretty much watched this movie with one eye on something else, anything. But yeah, I like the Technicolor in it, because, it's a good use of the medium. You know how, like, sometimes for this podcast, we do have to find, like, some nice thing to say about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, to say about the movies. Because the movie is very much, like, just up Frank's ass. Frank, the main character, in a way that, The Simpsons has alluded to, like, even when Frankie isn't on scene, other characters should be like, where's Frankie? They should always be checking how's Frankie feel about this. What do you think about Frankie? Frankie's great, don't you agree? Like, no character has any kind of agency other than Frankie in this, including, poor put upon Tony Bennett, who's in this as the sidekick, who's basically just like his hype man. Even in the scenes that he's not in, he's doing voiceover, just talking about how awesome his friend is and just relishing his exploits, where it's like, get some self-respect, man. Like, get a life of your own.
Yeah, and
a shame for you.
Those voiceovers are hilarious, by the way, as is all of the dialogue in this movie. And I said earlier that this movie...
Hey, come on, lay off Harlan Ellison.
I don't know how much of it is actually Harlan Ellison.
Yeah.
I mean, he...
for his sake, none of it.
Yeah, he sort of didn't recognize it when he eventually saw it on the screen, so there's that. But like I was saying earlier, this movie still has cachet among, like, the ones who know, and also, I believe, gay men who have put, like, 1 million quotes from it on the IMDb page. Because, man, is this dialogue overheated. Like, good Lord.
Yeah, these are very much monologues for young actors. Because
everything is a speech. Every big emotional beat is not just like, someone trying to...
Well, yeah, contrast with The Driver from a couple episodes ago, where this scene was Isabella Adjani is trying to get free money out of The Driver.
This scene really resonated with you, didn't it?
Yes, it was about not lending some random bitch money. Jen. No, and I mean, I repeat myself. People heard the story a fucking week ago, as if we aren't running out of content.
We were extremely delighted by The Driver, by the way.
Yeah.
We really loved it.
Yeah. He says, I don't do loans. She says, you sure? And he does not respond.
Yeah, just 3 dots.
Yeah, it's just like, I told you.
Yeah.
Contrast with the Oscar, where everything is...
a fucking speech.
Yeah, everything is, fittingly enough, an Oscar performance. Like, just chewing the scenery, climbing the walls, rending the garments, pulling the hair. Sounds like a nice night in, actually.
There's a part in Catcher in the Rye, which is actually a good book, so everyone who's mad about reading it in high school for some reason can shut the fuck up. But
hey, everyone who's mad about it is just a big phony.
There's a part where Holden Caulfield is, as an aside, is mentioning going to the movies, and he's basically like, I hate the movies, like, don't even mention them to me. And, like a lot of other historical things, you get, like, kind of a warped perspective on media of the time, because you only see the stuff that is hung around.
That which has endured.
Yeah, you're watching Mildred Pierce. You're not watching, like, whatever, hey, going back to The Driver, whatever shitty B-westerns like Walter Hill loved as a child. You're watching whatever's on TCM. You watch a movie like The Oscar, and you're like, oh, God, movies have always sucked. Like, if I had gone to see this in the theater at the time, I would have been as mad as Paul was when he went with you to see Wild Wild West.
You know, Paul really should shut his mouth about that movie. It feels like it tries for there will be blood, but it ends up more like there will be blood. Because it is ultimately about just a selfish, unsocialized scumbag who pretty much achieves all of what he wants up until the end.
Yeah, and has not a fragment of self-reflection or
humanity or decency,
human kindness. He's got a pretty severe anger problem, which continually fucks up.
Which is great. Use it.
Yeah, which continually fucks up his life. Like he doesn't realize, like, because he's and a lot of this is Stephen Boyd kind of putting it across, and it's not like there hasn't been like some thought put in his character. It's just that he's like so one note. It's like, oh well, Frankie is motivated by his rough upbringing in which he felt like people never took him seriously. So he's always ready to start a fight. You know, if he perceives himself as being disrespected, like, you know, he sets off. He treats women like shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. And we, like I said earlier, we love movies about, like, you know, kind of bad or morally great people, but this is a movie where it gets just tedious. It's like, God, this is like such a bummer to watch.
Yeah, that's why I'm fast forwarding through most of it, where it's like he just kind of jumps from like blonde, you know, bombshell to bombshell, and he's an asshole to them, and they hate him. It's like, yeah, okay, well, we get the picture.
Yeah,
like it doesn't really change any more than that, short of anything that like Tony Bennett wants to, you know, just sort of monologue about, because he's the one who's just there to like info dump all the like important stuff that happens off screen.
Yeah, he's like Frankie's dog's body and also like ever-present narrator. Even though like it's not like Frankie is nice to him.
He lives in Frankie's asshole.
Yeah.
And in like better hands, like that character you would see like their own like moral corruption and them just being like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I'm sure that there's like a, Paul Thomas Anderson movie where there's like a secondary character where like, oh, that's exactly what this is.
Right.
Yeah, but I need to listen to another podcast to get that information and then I'll retell it to you guys. But yeah, in this movie though, like, Tony Bennett's character, Jaime, like he's pretty like static even when like his arc is flat, even when things are like going terribly for him. Like when things are good for Frank, he's happy. When things are bad for Frank, he's sympathetic. When Frank needs some call girls to like bring over, like he'll do that. Yep. Like he's just completely malleable. He has like no internal self. He's just there as like just a little more than a Greek chorus for Frank.
Yeah, and so by the end, while he's narrating Frankie's ignominious Oscar loss, which
I know the poor guy, he was only nominated for an Oscar. It's curtains for him.
It's like, I don't think it isn't like you get nominated for an Oscar and then you like have to do like a Logan's Run thing and you die and you never get nominated for an Oscar again. It's like, he could possibly take another crack at it. In fact, the whole point is that his career was on a downslope. He got the Oscar nom. In some cases, not all, but in some cases that speaks to like a career renaissance for an actor. And it would actually legitimately be funny if the coda to this was Frankie becoming even more successful, like never reflecting on a fucking thing, and like dying in bed with two playmates at 90.
Right, yeah. Just like, it's good to be a complete scumbag.
Yeah, or getting Me Too'd like 6 months after he dies.
Right, yeah.
Like, oh my God, he raped so many women. Oh well, he'll never see justice. Now that's Hollywood.
There were a lot of allegations, but one of those women committed suicide, and the other one, was never heard from after.
And everyone's like, oh, well, you know how Frankie is. He's just like that.
Yeah. Other starlets just like warning him before they go to a party or on a date with him.
Yeah, like don't put your hand over your drink when you're around him.
Right, yeah. But you do make a good point, because you can think of two easy examples of like faded stars who had a later career renaissance. Travolta, like for Pulp Fiction, Burt Reynolds and Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Carradine
it was
until he topped himself in that hotel room.
Right? Yeah. So maybe there's like some, foot fetishist director who's waiting to put Frankie into like another part where he plays some like, because he's got that street cred because he comes from like this background of basically being a hood.
Yeah.
And now he comes back and he's like the crime boss.
Did you notice that he basically has the same origin story as Rorschach?
That's why I sympathize with them so much.
His mother was a whore.
A whore. Yeah.
As Jaime helpfully explains to poor soon-to-be dead Jill St. John.
Right, yeah. Because Jill St. John, like, she had kicked him out after herself getting, a commendable monologue.
She gives it her all. She's not great, but I'm like, yeah, you go for it, girl.
Yeah, she kicks out Frankie, and then Jaime's like, well, hang on. His mom was a whore, and his dad killed himself. And she's like, oh, that's so sad. And I want to be happy, too. I want to have some happiness. And she cries, whatever.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, and by the way, I'm knocked up.
Right, yeah.
Because Frankie nutted in her and left.
Yep. Classic Frank.
Yep.
So, yeah, she carries on, I hate you, I hate us both, cry, 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 end of scene.
Yeah, she does get together.
That was from Mulholland Drive.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time. So
it doesn't like play on a loop in your head?
Forgive me. Well, just that one scene with Naomi Watts and Laura Herring.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I have that on my phone.
Titty.
Right.
Touching titties.
No, but we were saying, yeah, cry, whatever. But yeah, he got her knocked up, and yeah, I would forgive you, Jen, but I don't want you to think that I think that you're dirt or that you're a slut or that anyone's going to treat you like one.
From later in the movie, it does have one of the best lines of dialogue in any movie ever made in more than 100 years in the medium, which comes from Eleanor Parker later. I'm not some sort of garbage pail you can slam a lid on and walk away. Again, after Frankie has nutted in her and turned to leave.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh, that's that old hag who's like 40, 42 or something.
Disgusting.
I know. And that awful ginger hair, too. There are two redheads in this.
You can see why he has to put a bag over her head every time.
Yeah.
But we'll get to her, because she's fun.
Because she discovered him.
Yeah. Oh, boy. And that's, and there are, like, genuinely funny bits in this movie. Not that they intended them, but, they do. You kind of get the picture when you see Jill St. John ranting about what a piece of shit Frankie is, because you're like, oh, it's one of those movies. And it really is like what Holden Caulfield was talking about, where it's like, yeah, 90% of everything is garbage, and this is the garbage.
Yep.
Because
Sturgeon's Law.
Every emotional beat is a speech. Everything is on the surface.
Yeah.
Everything is turned to 11. Not just the color, as Tim mentioned. It's just like, let's just, let's put it all out there. Like, there's no, like, quiet self-reflection, no, like, inner life to these characters. Like, everybody is just, like, cranked up and yelling, and it is so stupid.
Yeah, Frankie gets, because he's been pursuing this kind of, what, Kim Novak type European blonde.
That is Elke Summer.
Yes. What a lovely summer she is.
She looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do it all up. They give her like the the quarter fog filter and like the rim light and everything and the like little sparkles in her eyes. It's great. She looks great. So
yeah, like that scene where they first see each other at that party in the East Village. Yeah. And it literally is like, and then our eyes met from across the room, and they cut to her, and it's like 50% blurrier.
Oh, clearly. Yeah, but Frankie at some point strikes out with her because he's just like, hey, just let me use you. Just let me use you real quick and then abuse you.
Just let me come in you a couple times.
Yeah, let me come in and then tell you to leave. And weirdly, like, she doesn't like that. I guess she's one of the modern types.
Who's fucking feminist.
Right, yeah.
it is strongly implied that she's holding on to her virginity.
Which, well, TikTok. I mean, that woman looks like on the cusp.
Yeah, what is she, like 21?
22,
like, Jesus Christ.
You're right.
Your eggs are rotting.
Yeah, you're more dried up and used than Taylor Swift. That old hag.
She's a feminist, too.
She probably has her own money.
God, this was man, and this time would have really sucked for women, because at the time when, like,
Not like
a
now.
lot of times, like, the... well, it's always a delightful time for women.
Right,
but,
yeah.
in 1966, it's like right as the pill was being introduced, and, if you're a girl like Elka Summer and, you're kind of having a flirtation with a guy like Frankie, it's like, oh, man,
Yep.
Honey, please be careful.
Yeah, be like Gina Davis and Earth Girls Are Easy and just pop like 4 of them.
See, like 10 of them right up the top.
Yeah. But so he strikes out with Ilka Summer, and then he's like, well, let me go find my bottom bitch, this old hag redhead who discovered me, and let me just bang her. So he just goes from like just abusing one woman to abusing another. It's just like, I think we get it. We don't like this guy.
Yeah,
But then there's still like an hour left of the movie.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like, because the movie spends like 3/4 of its runtime like establishing his character, and it's like, yeah, we get it.
Like there isn't a whole lot to this guy. Like this guy is 3 bad relationships. Like that's it.
Yeah. It's funny because even Jaime says like, oh, Frankie's always been that way with women. It's like, why the fuck are you friends with this guy? Oh, yeah, Frankie, he's just like a complete asshole, like never has a good thing to say or do for anybody, treats the people he ostensibly loves like absolute trash. Like, anyway, I'm just going to stick with him for the next 10 years.
I mean, I haven't watched Entourage, but
oh, man.
Yeah, if this movie were just a tiny bit deeper, maybe they could have gotten into that to be like, why the hell are you friends with this guy anyway? Because, like you say, that kind of unintended satire of Hollywood, there are a lot of enablers around Frankie. Like people don't push back and people kind of like fold around him and this is something that I think it was Chris Rock who did a bit about basically like the Mrs. Cosby kind of golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, do you like your life? And it's like, what kind of monster you married, but if you're Jaime, who has nothing else going on other than a dead wife, or if you're, Milton Berle, like his agent, who like wants to keep getting that sweet Frankie, 10% of Frankie's money, or if you're any of the other hangers on, like even that like blonde starlet who he has that contemptuous sort of arranged like relationship with just for, fame, because all of Hollywood is phony. I mean, you learn that from Holden Caulfield. Everyone in this is like, well, they're kind of after something and they need Frankie for whatever reason. So they've sort of morally compromised themselves in order to get access to whatever Frank can provide, even though Frank is kind of like skint himself, like he's living beyond his means. I don't know if that has any relevance to current power structures sort of corroding America at the moment, but it's something to consider.
But that's the thing, because like you said, like if the movie was just like an inch deeper, it would actually be like pretty interesting, maybe even fun, because in certain ways it is very wryly jaundiced about Hollywood in general. Like you mentioned, Gene Hale's character, the super cunty starlet, who apparently was based on the actress Carol Baker, so she was obviously a huge bitch, who was basically just using Frankie as like a hot walker so she can go out in the town and get like photographed and blab to people about like, oh, well, the studio wants me for a picture with Jack Lemmon and I just can't, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You die to work with Jack Lemmon.
Hey, who wouldn't?
Right,
as long as it's not Chris Lemmon.
No, sorry. That's all we can offer. Like I don't know who you would put in that part, but I would think like in modern times I put like maybe Jennifer Lawrence or something in that. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm here to be seen.
Yeah.
All right.
I do like looking at her.
Yes.
She's she looks good. Anyway,
okay. Just didn't mean to distract you. Although like one of the other things, because you're saying like.
Well, let me
okay,
finish my point though, because if this, like I was saying, like if this movie were just like an inch deeper and a hair smarter.
Ooh, that's asking a lot.
In addition to the things it gets right, like, you know, the portrayal of like the kind of like shrill, demanding starlet, or, you know, Frankie's like naked avarice.
Right.
There are other things that are just like plainly laughable, which is like, you know, like Frankie's big push for like a new contract, like really holding the head of the studio's feet to the fire and making his agent like really go to the mat for him.
Yeah.
It's like
it's Jerry Maguire saying, "Show me the money."
It's painted as this huge betrayal of like, oh, you know, when this head of the studio was just so good to you, Frankie.
Right.
And that's ridiculous because there is like, you know, quid pro quo in Hollywood. Certainly, like, you know, there are favors and grudges and slights and whatnot.
Yeah, because ultimately entertainment business is about people.
Right. Because the way it's played is like, oh, well, you know, like, Frankie's really treating his agent like shit. And it's like, really, like, we're supposed to feel sorry for a fucking agent, and especially like played by Milton Berle in like a rare like non-comedy part. And it's like, he's fine, you know, he's like says the lines and shit, but it's not like he's embodying this great role as like the hard-bitten agent. It's just kind of like, oh wow, another person for Frankie to treat like shit. And it's right. Really like divorced from any realities of Hollywood.
Right. And I mean, he can treat him like shit because it's like, well, what else are you going to do? You know, go find someone else to represent. You know, I'm the big cheese right now. Yeah, and you're here to make me and you more money. So what is this like? Oh, I don't know, Frankie. It's like scruples in Hollywood. What the hell? Yeah, it's the wrong place ridiculous. For it. It's like the movie is really as dated as its trappings are. Like not just the Technicolor, but like the Percy Faith score. Yeah, like. Bob Hope like hosting the Oscars at the beginning. It's so like, and this was right when like The Graduate was about to come out the next year, and suddenly it was going to be a whole new Hollywood. Right. And interestingly, the Oscar and The Graduate were produced by Joseph E. Levine, so it's not like that guy didn't know what was what. But it's so funny to think of like The Graduate, which is like still a stone classic like years and years later, and then a movie like this, which is like so stodgy that only like old gay guys are like super into it. You know what I mean? Well, maybe he owed someone a favor. Maybe. Yeah. Milton Berle wants to branch out into more serious roles. Great job, Milty. Uncle Milty. They should have dressed him in drag. That would have at least livened things up. And he says he'll run over my dog if I don't let him. So... Or, you know, had him take his huge dick out. Right, yeah. Slap him with his dick. Oh, man, like him cock-slapping Frankie would have been pretty funny. Just show him enough to win. Listen, you little punk. Yeah. Oh, yes? Another thing, which is like, it's like, yeah, okay, like, this does happen, but, like, the weird, mean edge to it is, like too much. And maybe this got past you, Tim, because I know you're not an expert, but right. When he goes to meet Cappy, his agent, at a restaurant, and the maitre d' is played by in Paul the story Rubens. An actor that Frankie recognizes. He's like, oh my god, like he's the maitre d', and he's been in more features than I have. Like he was actually a good actor. Like what the hell happened? That part is played by Peter Lawford, and I was actually aghast at how mean it is to have cast Peter Lawford in this role. Yep. Because this is very much Peter Lawford on the downslope of his career. It's like it goes past like stunt casting to like outright mockery. I was like, wow. Like, all right. Like Pete, you're in a walk-on, yeah. Yeah, like we want somebody who really embodies like someone who has just sunk so low that he's working as a maitre d'. It's like, fuck. That's because famously Peter Lawford fell out with Frank Sinatra in 1962. It was all over Lawford trying to get, because he was a Kennedy in-law, trying to get JFK to stay at Sinatra's place in Palm Springs, to the point where, like, and Sinatra was so excited about that, like he built like a fucking helipad and everything, like oh, the president's gonna come stay here, and then he ended up not staying there for reasons, and then
that was when Lawford and Sinatra fell out, and that was kind of
Over
when
a Kennedy?
Lawford's career. Yeah, it happens.
That you were saying that was the point where Lawford's career was just like
kind of
on the
slid
outs.
right into the garbage disposal, and that's why you'll see him in stuff like Graydon Clark's Angel's Revenge in the 70s. Very sad, but yeah, like I couldn't get over seeing Peter Lawford in this role, because I was like, that is like did he piss someone off? Like, this is a little too pointed.
I don't. Yeah, that's great casting.
Yeah,
Maybe he needed the work.
I think he did.
Well, there you go. Mystery solved. Now you know.
He's like, yeah, I'll debase myself.
Like, hey, it's a paycheck
for this part. Yeah,
that's what I think whenever I go to work.
But anyway,
yeah.
So
the movie is 2 goddamn hours.
Yeah, it's weird because like at first it moves like at a molasses pace, and then the next thing you know, it's like wrapping up. Like Frankie's Oscar run feels like it takes place over like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it occupies like the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
which is funny. Like I wondered, like, first off, why the Oscar framing device? Although I mean, I can understand that being as the pinnacle of achievement in Hollywood. But it's funny because already, like, I was checked out of this movie. Sorry.
You were checked out in the first 30 seconds?
Basically, because I was like, oh, there's a lot of stars that Jen would recognize in this. And, Frank Sinatra does his introduction, and, we get to meet the character. I'm like, oh, he's up for an Oscar. And then, then Tony Bennett starts talking. And then they cut to Frankie with Jaime and the redhead who dies, and they're doing like some kind of like they're arranging like a strip show or something, and I'm like, wait, is this like the clip from the movie that they show that he's nominated for? And
that would have been a better framing device.
Yeah, and then the scene just keeps going. You're like, wow, they're just showing the whole goddamn movie.
Yeah. The Oscars were a lot different in the 60s.
That's why these award shows go on so long, because for every actor that they nominate, they have to show the entire 2-hour movie for which they're nominated. Otherwise, how can you make an informed decision?
Yeah, every Oscar ceremony used to be like 20 hours.
It was a gauntlet, yeah. You're watching like 20 movies in a day. It was just unbelievable.
I like when Bob Hope is hosting at the beginning, because they actually did get footage of like the 1965 Oscars, and then they like recreated the ceremony for this at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, still standing.
Which Bob Hope makes hay out of.
Yeah, he's at the podium.
Like, we're celebrating Hollywood in Santa Monica.
Yeah, he says, this is Hollywood's big night, which is why we're holding it in Santa Monica. And I'm like, yeah, because Hollywood is a shithole.
Still the truth, yes.
Like, can you, like, because I know that they hold it because the theater was, the Kodak Theater was purpose-built for the Academy Awards. But I feel like at the time, they would have been like, wait, they're going to have this in Hollywood proper? Like, that fucking tourist trap?
Have you been to Hollywood lately? I don't recommend that.
The place where hobos piss?
Yeah, like, I wouldn't, flash my wallet in Hollywood.
Let alone... mere blocks from the Playboy liquor store.
Do you know that's where Ed Wood died? Like, we can't have Hollywood associated with that.
He really should have died at the Playboy liquor store. I think he died in the Valley, which is even worse.
Yeah, I would rather. Well, didn't he? Well, he lived above Playboy, didn't he, or something like that? He
lived very down the street from the Playboy liquor store, which I think he was like
only a degenerate would live within walking distance of Playboy. That is a joke for one person.
And it's funny because obviously the name of the picture is the Oscar, and there's a big block of text up front saying yes, the Academy Award, the Academy said we could use this branded material because the copyright is so fucking important, and yes, the Academy does very zealously protect.
Oh yeah, you can't even show a statuette without them being ahem,
right?
Excuse me.
Yeah, you cannot say Oscar, even though
you got to say the big game.
Yeah. Is there a sports ball tonight?
Oh, is there an awards ball on tonight?
Yeah, and fuck the Oscars. I don't really give a shit. But
oh, bad news, Jen. The movie that we're talking about kind of hinges on the Oscars.
Yeah, I know, but it does add to this weird kind of I don't have a phrase for it. Like, the feel of the movie is like, it's so like almost there. Like, it could really skewer Hollywood as an institution.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the movie is fucking branded. It says the Oscar right on it. It was made with the approval of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
The guy's name was Oscar.
It's not going to get that crazy.
Right.
Like, they're like, certainly like Frankie and company get up to really like sordid shit.
Now, if they had called it the Cable Ace Award.
But because this is like, oh, well, you know, this is old Hollywood and we're still kind of beholden to those standards of decorum, it's like we have to have Frankie get a big fat comeuppance at the end.
Right.
Which isn't even really a comeuppance.
Yeah, to show that the Oscars have integrity, Marissa Tomei.
But yeah, like, oh my God, he got halfway out of his seat, but they gave it to Frank Sinatra. It's like, wow, he is so owned right now.
You know, that moment was kind of funny because it reminded me of Album of the Year, which was, of course, won by Random Access Memories. Of course, the other contender at the time was Taylor Swift, you know, that old hag. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, isn't she like 42 or something?
Yeah, just terribly, just ancient, aged. Yeah, her album was also up for Album of the Year. That album, of course, being Red. So you can kind of get that like secondhand cringe,
right?
Of the, you know, producers and her handlers and every other hanger on, like her own, you know, Jaime Kennedy. Or whatever his name is, being like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the big one. It's going to be Random Access Memories. Sorry, Tay.
They gave it to the robots.
Right, yeah. And then they never made an album again.
Yeah, they were done.
They're like, je suis fini. Adios. That's not even French.
Au revoir.
I do not care. I no longer work for you. I'm going to just Centrex now.
I can't believe they gave it to Anal Cunt that year.
I mean, Anal Cunt was
that
due.
was a real upset. Yeah, they were. You know, It was like, oh God, I can't.
I'm sick of the Anal Cunt being overlooked.
I guess it's, you know, it's kind of like, well, isn't that generally how award shows go? And this is a really hack observation, but it's always like,
leave those to me.
Oh, the safe choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not going to give it to anything too crazy. Like, you know, we're not going to give it to Raging Bull. We're going to give it to a nice movie like Ordinary People.
Yes, the most ordinary movie. That's what the award was.
You know, like, I like Ordinary People, but like Raging Bull, you know, it's like...
Yeah.
And also the fact that they gave Best Screenplay to Promising Young Woman, which is like...
Oh my God.
That made me feel like I was living in crazy town.
That's one of those things where it's like, I can't take you seriously anymore. I'm sorry, like you and me award show, like you're done, like that. And because that was the thing too, where like in the 90s, like amongst our circle of friends, that was like Best Original Screenplay was the actual Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have that, just that sense of betrayal from Promising Young Woman.
Check out our episode on Promising Young Woman. We didn't like it.
It's because we're misogynist.
Back to a real feminist movie, The Oscar.
He never hits any of the women in this, so I don't know. I don't know what everyone's so upset about.
That's how you knew a guy was decent back then. Yeah. He didn't actually hit any women with a closed fist.
No bruises.
But that's another thing about this movie is that it Tim, you know how much I enjoy bad women in my movies.
Yeah, you got a whole list of them. Check them out on the Patreon.
Yeah, flawed women, chicks with problems.
That's what you can relate to.
Yeah, so, but in this one, it's like, you know, you have Ilka Summer, who is basically like, oh, she's too good for Frankie, because, you know, she's
European.
Straight dime. She's super smart. Yep. She's talented. He doesn't understand, like, all of the sentences that she says to him.
Right.
Probably because...
she's not a dumb actor.
He has lead poisoning.
Yeah, well,
right. She's resolutely holding on to her virginity because she's holding out for a guy. He'll treat her right, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh. Bad news.
And then you have women like Sophie Cantaro, played by Eleanor Parker. You know, who is basically like the worst thing a woman can be, which is over 30 and in Hollywood.
Gross, yes. Strike 2.
And, you know, she's looking for new, hot, young talent.
Too fuck.
And she's
on
finds
the
it
prowl.
in... Yeah.
She finds it in
Frankie Fain.
Yeah, she finds it in Frankie, who assaults an actor at a rehearsal of West Side Story. And she's like, this guy's got it.
Well, God, she's like pretty like, you know, not just like the knife fight, but like the bit in the restaurant where he puts on this big fake act, like, why do I push away the people that I
Tells
love?
this whole
and then,
sob
you know,
story. And he's like,
yeah,
and then he stands up and goes, acting?
Yeah, and he comes up grinning like a demon, and she practically comes in her pants.
Right, yeah, it's like, let's see those hands, lady.
Yeah, she's just like...
She is like, here, let me show you this clip on my phone of Naomi Watson, Mulholland Drive.
And the movie doesn't come right out and say that she's like horny as fuck for him, but they do have like Milton Berle's agent character ask her, like, you know, is this really about like Frankie being a talented actor, or
or is it about you discovering him? It's like,
or you know, are you just premenopausal and horny as fuck?
She's got the hot flashes.
Yeah. And in the process of bouncing between women, Frankie leaves Elke Summer after a scene on his boat, which is fucking wild, because like the psychology in that scene is just like...
Yeah. Well, you can tell how much they hate each other, which is why they should be married.
The scene really embodies that old saw about like, well, you know, women want is just a man will like treat him like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically reads her the riot act, and this whole speech is like just so wild that he says that I actually want to read some of it.
It has kind of a weird negging quality where it's like, you dumb bitch, can't you see like how badly you want me, which is why you keep pushing me away? And it's like, I don't think that's how that works, but go off.
Yeah. Because as Frankie puts it, you slapped my face the first time I made a pass at you, but you got me a job that kept me near you. Every time I tried to get close, you pushed me away, but not too far. Oh, that Middle European peasant upbringing of yours, baby. They told you so often that playing house with a guy was dirty. You got all knotted up inside. But you like to play, so you can't get turned on by a guy who treats you nice, a schlep like the one you are out with tonight. But a guy who wipes his feet on you, that you dig.
I'm getting kind of mixed messages.
Yeah, and she's like practically foaming at the mouth at this point. She's like, take me home. She's so pissed off. Which, of course, you know, as we know, means that she wants him to rape her or whatever.
Right, yeah, because I know that, you know, the more you argue with a woman, the more she's inclined to change her mind about you. I learned that from the internet.
That's right. And so he relents, takes her home, and then because I don't know, he's got blue balls or whatever. So hey, he goes over to
that's his bottom bitch. Yeah.
Right. And you know, because
this haggard old 40-something woman.
Yeah, and you know, because she has no self-respect, she basically lets him fuck her.
Which she does explain, because you know, we get another nice speech from her. Because like you say, everything in this is a speech where she talks about you know. She says that like she needs to belong to other men, like even lousy ones like Frankie. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but like,
like I said, this movie's very feminist,
right? Yeah, talking about like counting like her rosaries or something, just like how she's, you know, not got a lot of time left.
Yeah, it's like some overheated line about like, oh, like 6 beads on the rosary, like,
right,
you know, spent with you or something, like implying he's been fucking her on and off for 6 years.
Yeah, so she must repent for that.
So yeah, like, and when we're first introduced to her character, she's 42, so that makes her, oh my god,
in her mid 40s.
Ah! Yeah. So, like, geez, I don't even know how he puts the wood to her without her pussy just falling out. I mean...
Right, yeah. That is just... It's got to be, like, you know, fucking a bag of flour.
This is like something James Ellroy would write about, like, pouring the pork to some desperate old starlet.
What a way with words.
Now that's a guy who really got like exactly how disgusting Hollywood and Los Angeles really were. Like it's a guy who used to literally an author who used to break into houses and sniff women's panties. So it's like, the guy knows what he's talking about.
What kind of money does he pull in doing that?
James Ellroy's memoir, My Dark Places. Highly recommend.
Okay.
The guy holds nothing back.
Apparently.
Not even kind of wanting to fuck his dead mom. Like, yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get your money's worth, I guess.
James Ellroy is one of the truly great reactionary artists of our time, because there aren't many.
Yeah.
But he's up there.
Did I ever mention this? Because we've been kind of going all over the place. I know, unusual for us. The thing that I took away from this, and I might have already mentioned this, in which case, just cut it out completely. Going after like this hot European babe and then striking out and then having to like stoop to fucking another woman in Hollywood while also then like eventually marrying her and then still fucking around on the side with whatever starlets want to be seen with them. That has to do your head in. Being an A-lister and then just like getting sick of one bombshell, so then like falling into the arms of a straight dime. Just like everywhere you go. Like which 10 will I have to stoop to fuck tonight?
Yeah.
Like, that has got to be insane just to live in that world.
You kind of see how like hot and cold running pussy like does drive people batty.
Yeah. Well, they do allude to that, when they when Jaime comes in as Frankie's agent, and it's just like babe after babe, like out by the pool.
Yeah, and in fact, one of those extras, one of the bikini women, she was in fucking Catalina Caper.
Oh, okay, so professional hot woman, good for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in Catalina Caper, she actually had like lines, and this one she just like looks pretty.
Which was the step up and which was the step down?
Well, like looking at where Catalina Caber fell in Tommy Kirk's career, like, probably step down.
Oh, okay. Maybe they could have cast Tommy Kirk as the maitre d'.
God, like, I don't think it's mean enough giving this part to Peter Lawford. Let's just really kick a guy who's down. Give me Tommy Kirk.
Just wall-to-wall has-beens.
But enough about B-movie TV.
Right. Yeah, what was that? Oh, It's Alive. I think that was not the last movie Tommy Kirk was in, but maybe Tommy Kirk would have liked to have stopped before then.
Or Streets of Death, was it?
God, I don't even know.
Oh, God. Poor Tommy Kirk. Anyway, rest in peace, Tommy Kirk.
Poor Tommy Kirk being world famous and then not.
Well, speaking of things that probably mess with your head.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Because there is a little bit of that where you kind of got to keep, like chasing the dragon in terms of Frank's success. Because he does achieve like a certain level. He was in like a mobster picture where he plays some tough hair trigger asshole who's always looking to fight. And that's what he got nominated for. But then like afterwards, it's like, well, you have to chase like bigger and bigger roles. Otherwise you end up like, Tommy Kirk or Peter Lawford, where it's like suddenly you're everywhere. And then suddenly you're nowhere. You're the other guy from Twilight. I can understand how like, that is kind of the way that Hollywood works, because it's like, if you aren't like the next big thing, like you gotta, be just a sociopath to be able to stay on top of all that. You basically have to be Madonna to keep staying relevant and to keep working. Cause there's no shortage of, actresses who are like, yeah, it's the hot young thing. And then I didn't work for 30 years. And then I came back playing mom roles. And it's like, yeah, I could act that entire time. There just wasn't anything for me.
Right.
Or it's like, you're it, and then you're in like a summer tentpole movie that flops, and then it's like, no, sorry, next. Just anyone who's in like, what was that? The Eternals?
Oh,
yeah. It's like, sorry, no, not your turn.
Show favorite Virginia Madsen comes to mind.
Yeah, Mira Sorvino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she ran into the literal devil.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, it's a minefield.
That's the other thing.
She's in Mimic.
Like, and I know they would not have done this in 66, at least not to the degree really necessary to capture it. But like, for example, and speaking of like incredibly depressing shit, Joseph Cotton in this movie looks rough, and apparently he was actually dubbed because he was having denture problems at the time.
Oh, no.
I was just like, oh man, like fucking Joseph Cotton, like Shadow of a Doubt. Joseph, you're like, aw, like,
yeah,
Jesus. Like,
yeah,
it's so sad.
It's ignominious to be just some poor schmo up there in a Hollywood motion picture.
Yeah, well, he's playing the head of a studio, but like so many of these extraneous characters, like just totally colorless. And
well, yeah, because they all, are in orbit of Frankie.
Yeah, and
How
like
does Frankie feel about this?
Yeah, and in a movie that was actually accurate to Hollywood, like the character of Regan, the studio head, would be like just a glass chewing psychopath.
Take one step back and fuck your own face, like that kind of.
Yeah. But because you're right, Tim, because like the fact that everything revolves around Frankie, like everyone arrayed against him has to be like some kind of like hapless victim, including like the powerful head of the studio.
Right. Yeah. Won't a Hollywood studio head ever catch a break?
Oh, that poor man. Like, for all we know, like that character is like a Weinstein, and he doesn't like have a dick, but still rapes. Like,
right?
Just
yeah.
Truly depraved shit.
He may have to like be relegated to eating like canned child meat, like none of the fresh stuff.
Like, there are a lot of references to Mexico in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going down to Mexico on the weekends and getting like horse drugs to like shoot directly into his dick so he can like fucking use starlets.
Are we talking about the Frankie, or are we talking about Harvey Weinstein?
Maybe I'm just thinking about a James Ellroy novel again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Did you notice the reference to huevos rancheros in this movie?
No, but I'm sure you did.
I did, because it is...
Jen, I fast-forwarded through like an hour and a half of this movie.
Okay, well, let me do the heavy lifting, Tim. So I believe Frankie's agent comes over to his super swank pad, and Frankie offers him huevos rancheros, which apparently are eggs cooked with green tomatoes, some chili, and tequila.
Oh, so you've been getting virgin huevos rancheros this whole time?
Yeah, apparently, because I was like, that's not how you do ranchero sauce. But
what do you know of it?
Well, what did people in America know about Mexican food at the time?
I can show you some white people tacos that'll have your mouth watering.
Yeah, I mean, this is back when like you ever see like if you ever see like scans of like recipes from the time, and it's like some like kind of gelatin with like tuna suspended in or something.
Yeah.
It's just
tuna
like,
wiggle.
yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah. like what the fuck? People ate this?
Well, they couldn't taste everything. Everyone was smoking 2 packs a day.
That's true. Everything just kind of tasted like ashes.
Yeah, what does it matter?
Like in Melancholia. But
right, yeah, someone's like, "Oh, yeah, everything tastes like ash in my mouth." It's like, well, that metaphor doesn't scan.
Well,
the sky was the color of a TV tuned to a dead channel. Like, it was bright blue? Like, sorry, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that was when you could cut the smog out of the air and like build a wall with it. Gasoline was leaded.
Yeah, you could just scoop it out with an ice cream scoop. 4
out of 5 doctors recommended you smoke Camels.
A blind squirrel's right. Finds a nut every now and then.
Yeah, the doctor would smoke as he was doing your illegal abortion.
What a magical time to be alive.
The doctor's just ashing in your pussy hair.
Well, you say you're going to turn 40. This is probably the last one for you.
Oh, I went ahead and tied your tubes. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But I'm white.
I saw the driver's license, and can you write me a check to pay for this out of your husband's checking account?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that this movie could have been a lot darker.
Right, yeah, there's plenty of material to work with.
Yeah. Oh,
you can reboot this with Michael Fassbender in the lead role. How about that?
But Tim, I've dragged you all over this screenplay in various directions, chasing threads.
Yeah.
Where were we? Were we at the point where Jill St. John's character dies off screen?
That could have happened at any point because they allude to it, but also like it carries no weight. So it's just like whatever.
Yeah, like
we're mostly talking about how Hollywood's corrupt, I think.
Yeah, because Frankie leaves her. She latches on to Jaime. That's kind of mean, but he gets Frankie sloppy seconds.
Right.
But I guess
he's there to support Frankie. He's there to clean up after him.
Right. So he's like, well, it's like eating someone's leftovers.
Oh, okay, so not all bad.
She's the half-eaten sandwich in the back of the fridge. Jesus Christ! Like this movie's misogyny is rubbing off on me. But I guess in the process of having a baby, she dies, which Jaime reveals to Frankie, who seems...
I thought it was in the process of having an abortion.
Maybe?
Because even still, she's like, oh, what rotten luck. I wanted to be happy and have a baby, but I'm having a chucklefucks baby here instead. You think Jaime's like dragging a toddler around to like Hollywood like press briefings and Frank like talking about how it's like, yeah, I killed a guy once, but I'm still going to get that Oscar.
Well, honestly, like Jaime's character isn't like well developed enough for me to say like, would he be like the good guy and support Jill St. John's character? But it doesn't fucking matter because, like I said, she dies off screen. Boo hoo. And then Jaime holds this in until he's able to unload it on Frankie at a key point in the screenplay in a truly ridiculous scene. And this was Tony Bennett's like only attempt at movie acting. He decided he didn't like it and never did it again, which was smart because he is terrible.
Tony, you're a champ. I'm glad that you know when to like stay in your lane.
When to hold him, when to fold him.
Yeah. No, so good for him. He gets to play the good guy even though his character is paper thin.
Yeah.
He's there to describe the things that happened to Frankie.
Yeah.
And he's there to basically just not like make sure that the audience isn't completely revolted by what's going on screen.
Well, I still was. But not for the reasons they intended.
Yeah. It is funny, like, because again, talking about the kind of amoral corruption of Hollywood, how, because we didn't even mention that when in Tijuana, Frankie meets a delightful character played by Ernest Borgnine.
Ah, surprise Borgnine.
Yes. He's just like this kind of sleazy private detective.
Yeah, and his wife, who he's getting divorced from, I guess.
Yeah, they're having a Tijuana divorce.
Yeah, it's Edie Adams, the former Mrs. Ernie Kovacs.
Right, so you can understand. But yeah, she was
his widow, I should say.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I don't know who that is.
Right, yeah, don't know, don't care. But yeah, he's the guy who ends up as part of Frankie's scheme to like drum up interest around his personage. While this Oscar thing is going on, where it's like, oh, who smeared Frankie by mentioning that he used to like, be involved in like prostitution and procurement and blah blah blah.
So he used to be a cool fucking guy. What's the problem?
Right. Yeah, it's the sort of thing that people like in this industry. And, it becomes a whole thing about, well, he was the one who planted the story. And I mean, that's not unprecedented. But it is kind of funny that, like, he's being, supposedly raked over the coals by the press. But even still, like, all of enemies come out to, like, kind of throw him a party because it's kind of like, that sort of duplicitous in Hollywood where it's like, well, this guy sucks, but he might be a means to an end.
Right.
So there's sort of this notion of just like, this amorality to it where it's like, okay, so maybe this guy did, beat or abuse or, rape some women, but dollar signs, huh?
Yep.
The camera loves him until, you know, he suddenly becomes box office poison. Like, these are the actual stakes of this man's life. Not like his character as a human being, but his bankability as an actor.
Yeah. He basically ends up like Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, totally.
There was a point in the 30s when Katharine Hepburn got a reputation as being box office poison.
Right. Yeah, no. And yeah, like, what can you do? Because, like, if your job is to be popular and people don't like you, you just kind of like hide under a rock until some, you know, independent movie auteur casts you in something, or you do like Lifetime movies and you play the villain.
Yeah. I think a good analog to Frankie would be Joan Crawford, because she also had like kind of like a career divot where it's like, we're not casting her. Like, nobody wants to see her that old bitch, you know?
Yeah, it's like, we've seen her in everything. Get rid of her.
Yeah, and Joan Crawford was, if nothing else, was a woman who definitely knew exactly what she wanted, and she was going to get it. So she worked her ass off until she kind of got her career going again. And she did kind of interesting parts later in her career, in addition to total schlock, but
yeah,
whom amongst us?
It's right. Yeah, it's what's his name? Like, basically like trying to like live down Twilight.
Taylor Lautner.
I mean, like the one who actually.
Oh, right. No, because you evoked Taylor Lautner earlier.
Yeah, he's the one who, like, he didn't get a chance to like upend his career.
Yeah, his
or
career
hell, like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, like
because he did one bad movie and it's like, sorry, kid, next.
Yeah, but then he did the Weird Al movie, and that was fucking great.
Well, hey, maybe his career's on an upswing, you know?
But
that's
yeah,
gonna
like,
drive you crazy.
You know,
like just living hand to mouth, millions of dollars at a time.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Like, Robert Pattinson definitely, like, well, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, like, they both, like, I mean, those Twilight movies could have been just like absolute lead weights around their necks, but both of them like made smart, interesting choices, and
right,
they did all right.
Yeah. Well, or more importantly, they did something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those Twilight movies fucking suck.
I believe it.
Just like the source material.
Yeah. Of course, the only thing that I tuned in for was the whole like intrigue about a guy being smeared by the press and how he was actually the one behind it, and how he's then getting blackmailed by the guy that he used to basically like blackmail himself.
Right. Like Borgnine, the PI, tries to like flip it around on Frankie.
Yeah, he tries to shake him down to be like, this thing that you're being this bad press that you have, I can make that into like legitimately bad press. Like, I can pop this controversy that you built around yourself by being like, yeah, he did it for the attention.
Yeah.
But of course, Frankie being overextended is like, well, I can't pay you off because like the money that I had for you to do the job was the money that I had. And it's funny too, because even his ex-wife is like, yeah, that was always a scam. Like, he'd do the thing, but then he'd like blackmail the person afterwards. It's like, okay, that is definitely going to be a Traveler NPC at some point.
Oh, Edie Adams, you've cut me to the quick.
Right, yeah. And I like it too that because Edie Adams explains like Ernest Borgnine's scheme when Frankie goes to
Hollywood.
When Frankie goes to ask her to try and like persuade him to like not blackmail him.
Yeah, because he's fucked.
And he goes in. Yeah, he is. And he goes like all like, hangdog hat in hand, desperate to get this woman to like, hey, can you convince Ernest Borgnine not to blackmail me? Because he's been, like, you remember from his impromptu audition with his old hag talent scout, where he goes, oh, why do I always push the people I love away? But then he goes and he tries to make this impassioned plea to her, but she susses him immediately, and it's like, wow, Frankie, you actually are a shitty actor. Which is the funny thing that he never realizes, even when, like, everyone is like kind of like reading him the riot act, just like telling him off. Like when he goes to beg Milton Berle for money, and Milton Berle is like, how you got an Oscar nomination for that last role? It's because you're playing like a violent, like, hair trigger psychopath with a like bad history of like criminality behind you. You weren't acting.
Yeah,
you're not an actor. You're a celebrity.
Yep. And oh boy, does that cut deep.
Yeah. It's like you aren't good as an actor. You're like a personality.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, he thinks he's on top of the world because he keeps getting all this money. It's like, well, obviously I deserve this success.
Right.
It's like you got lucky once.
Yeah. This movie almost has something on the ball, and it's funny that like the last like 15, 20 minutes are where you kind of start like watching again, because so much of it
that's where stuff
Yeah.
happens.
So much of it has just been like pure like trashy melodrama, like, Valley of the Dolls kind of shit. Like, Jesus Christ, like this was made for like midnight screenings and nothing else, because woof.
Please, Jen, can't we just get beyond the Valley of the Dolls? I'll put one in the swear jar for that. That was worth it.
Check out our Beyond the Valley of the Dolls episode with friend of the show, Josh Olson.
Josh Olson, yeah.
Like, fuck, you made me forget my point.
At the end, when everyone is like, disavowing their association with Frank in like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, that's where the movie is almost hitting on all cylinders, because that is like all the things you have just described, like Frankie just getting like read for filth by people who are as sleazy or sleazier than he is. Like,
right.
It's like, damn, that's pretty good. Like that.
He can't do anything for him.
Yeah, like that hits. And, it is deserved for him to like lose the Oscar to the other Frank, Mr. Sinatra.
Who's never done a bad thing in his entire life. That's what it is. The best actor, best being most noble, the best character actor, because he has the most character.
Yeah, like the every year the Oscar is given to the most virtuous person in Hollywood.
They should have a best character actor.
Isn't that best supporting actor?
I
mean, kinda.
You got me, yeah.
Yeah, supporting actor is like, that's like the ugly people roles.
That is your Steve Buscemi's, your John C. Reilly's, your the guy who died. That doesn't narrow it down. Yeah, so you think he's almost like, snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, but then Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
He gets it for what? I don't know. I mean, maybe they just read the wrong name.
God damn it, Warren Beatty. And Frankie didn't even get invited to the Vanity Fair party afterward.
Shame.
Yeah.
Why would he not get invited to the Vanity Fair party afterwards, Jen?
Well, my point is just that, the Vanity Fair party, the Oscars, big deal. They didn't invite Frankie because, I don't know, maybe pissed off Dua Lipa or something. I don't know, Tim.
Neither do I. Well, and you won't find out because this movie's incredibly shallow and dumb.
Yeah, it's trash. It's like if you like camp, like with a capital C, like you'll want to check this one out because it is extremely overripe.
Right.
It is like this movie is like a brown banana.
Have a couple of Manhattans while you're watching this just to get through it.
Yeah, or like get real baked. I bet it's funny.
No, I mean, I do like how they bring it back around. Like, after they show the entire movie for the clip of his nomination, then they resume the award show.
And then there should be like a post-credit sequence where it's like the Oscars in like, this is the 66 Oscars, so they fast forward to the 86 Oscars. And they're doing like the in memoriam. And then... Right. Frankie Fain is in hell looking up and he's like, oh, they fucking left me out of the in memoriam segment. I don't believe this.
No, instead, like in the in memoriam, rather than just show like a 2-second clip of like some highlight, then everyone's like, oh, it was that thing that he did. They showed the entirety of the Oscar. And then when the credits are finished rolling, then it's like, and also Betty White.
Yeah, and then like even the seat fillers are booing. Just throwing shit at the stage.
They ran out of seat fillers. Too many people walked out.
They trashed the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
They're just like coming up to people on the street like, hey, what size tuxedo do you wear? Get in here. Hey, free movie. You're a college student. You'll watch anything. As long as it's free.
Rest in peace, Frankie Fain.
Yes.
I like to think
you're too good for this world.
I like to think that Sophie Cantaro like outlived him, and she went on to appear in a TCM documentary, just like talking absolute shit about him. We didn't even mention Hedda Hopper.
We didn't mention that Edith Head is a cameo in this.
Yeah, like
What
Edith
the hell was
Head.
that about?
Edith Head is there to like basically like shine up like Elka Summers' character's career, because like, oh, she's so good, like they brought her from New York to do like fashion sketches for Edith Head.
Yeah.
See, even Tim knows who Edith Head is.
Only because of The Incredibles. Well, end of They Might Be Giant song, but...
Oh, okay.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, you can show your support by going to patreon.com/haveyouseenthis and make a pledge at the $2 or $5 tier. $5 a month gets the latest episode before everyone else, plus access to our Discord, where we're always arguing about movies. If you'd like to give us a tip, our Ko-Fi link is in the show notes.
You know what is another great line of dialogue from this movie?
What?
You got a glass head, I can see right through it. That's how I know you're stupid.